This is Katie Thompson, and welcome to my presentation of Moving Forward Together. Here, you can find a link to my screencast presentation. Well, as with any project, you need to start with a plan. So I broke this down into 4 sections. In order to create this OD library, I had to start with my purpose, which was to develop my unique professional approach to OD. The outcomes would be to build a meaningful system for my professional resources and to build a system that aligns with my personal values. In terms of the leadership, it's myself as the project leader. My project mentor is Dr. Steve Cady. The stakeholders are my eMod cohort, and the experts are my eMod faculty and former grads. In terms of actions to be taken, that's to review the assignment resources, to work through the assignment systematically, and to research and select the technology that I would use to house the library. In terms of needs, it's the technology and the operational skills to use it, the previous assignments, and my resume. In order to properly build an OD library, I needed to be clear on my personal purpose and values to ensure that my library is a reflection of what's important to me. My purpose is to create meaningful conversations and meaningful change in order to move forward together. My terminal values you'll see in the center, and those are to be healthy, wise, accomplished, and prosperous. And that's surrounded by the ways in which I want to behave, my instrumental values. Those are to love God, love people, and do hard things. Those 3 values are ones that were determined by my husband and I when we got married, and we still wholeheartedly believe in those. The 3 on the right are special to me, and those are the 3 authentic, encouraging, intentional that I've really been able to name in the past few years as I've grown professionally. My purpose and values, along with my experiences, have led to my personal method entitled Moving Forward Together. This method is shown in 2 different images because it's relevant for individuals working within an organization and organizations working together. I want to walk through moving forward together using the 8 design elements. The icons that you see are important as a representation of this method, and I'll explain each one along the way. The first is a symbol of a compass, and that is representative of this invitation, which is to guide 2 parties in strategic conversation, alignment, and goal setting. Next, and so important, is the anchor. And the purpose of this method is to anchor any work with a shared purpose. In terms of the system, it's really any 2 parties that either need to or want to work together. In terms of the experience, you see a conversation bubble there because this entire experience is based around creating meaningful conversations. That can be done through the World Cafe, open space, liberating structures, and appreciative inquiry. Any of those methods would work, but it really needs to be based on what type of system is in place, whether it's 2 people, large group. That experience would change based on the system, but it would always be based around meaningful conversation. In terms of the technology, you see a coffee cup there because really the best form of technology is to meet in person, to relax, to use paper, and enjoy being present in terms of this method moving forward together. The evidence, you'll see some of that on the next slide. The values that you see there are intentionality, belief in human potential, and the fact that shared vision is personal. People need to be connected personally to the vision that they're aligning to. And then mastery, you see there what kind of propels you to success is to simply read and practice. There's a lot of research and evidence surrounding shared vision, purpose, collaboration. The list goes on. I put a few quotes here and simply highlighted some important topics, but the research and evidence abounds. I'll just share a few of these highlighted words with you. We come together in an effort that is larger than ourselves. We fulfill the common purpose. We connect with them deeply in the present. We listen very, very closely to others. People get excited about a vision they truly want to accomplish. This is all evidence supporting the moving forward together method. If I can sum up my method in a way that embodies what I hope to achieve, it's to engage in meaningful conversation toward meaningful change, where the end result is that the world is better and so am I. I've included a link here to an intervention that I created that specifically follows this method. I feel very lucky to have started my dream job, and I've shown the relationship here between my job and my personal purpose and values. I'll just highlight a few key things. If you see that my purpose is to create meaningful conversations and meaningful change in order to move forward together, and then you see that my dream job, the key role there is to serve in public and professional leadership, to plan, direct, and implement a strategic plan for economic development and ensure Bowling Green's economic vitality. So those relate very well to each other. In terms of some of my values, I'll just highlight a few. In terms of loving people, well, obviously I will be working closely with diverse stakeholders, and I'll need to treat them all with dignity and respect, even when their views oppose mine. In terms of being authentic, this is a role in which relationships matter, and I will continue to strive for authenticity so that I build trust in the community. And then intentionality. This work will require intentionality in order to be successful. I have to plan, direct, and implement every step of the way. Here you can find a link to the complete job description for Bowling Green Economic Development and my resume, but I do highlight a few of my main responsibilities on the next slide in my gap analysis. There are definitely some gaps between my current role that I'm needing to execute and my current skill set. So the first is board leadership. I have never had to report to a board of this magnitude, and so I have to learn to effectively report to and lead an executive board. Next, I have to conduct market and statistical analysis, and this is a significant gap that's going to require training and mentoring under an expert in my field. Following is knowledge of economic development incentive tools, and although I didn't know much about these tools a month ago, I now have a basic fluency in many. I need to be responsible for creating economic development strategies, and I've never created strategies that involve this many stakeholders. So I look forward to building on what I do know and growing in these skills. A portfolio will be important as I continue to grow professionally. I plan to house it on Google Drive and in these 5 categories. So vision and strategy, business expansion and retention, promotion of Bowling Green, organization leadership and development, and articles and letters. So I'll be able to put all of the works that I complete within those categories, and specifically within the business expansion and retention category. I do plan to have a spreadsheet there where I can actually track data about business and expansion and retention efforts in the community. All that I've shared so far informs my evidence library. I plan to store information in Google Drive. I did try Evernote, but I definitely decided on this system for its sharing capabilities. Essentially, I'm going to have a folder for each of the categories that I've listed there. These are things that I've found that are important to me through this discovery of my purpose, my values, my vision, my professional goals. I believe these are a solid collection of categories to store my evidence. Then my plan is, after I have a folder for each category, I will also have a Google Sheet in each folder that tracks books, links, videos, essentially any relevant information that isn't easily uploaded as a file. And I am sure this entire system will evolve as I do. In conclusion, this quote sums up how I feel about my method and the work that I want to do in the world. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Ultimately, I want this method to result in the fact that the world is better, and so am I. Here's my references, and thank you.